Shit happens, doesn't it? I think there's about 3 people left over Whit Lane. The rest of them are in jail.
You still got around here for the other?
Oh, our boys, look at them all. Fucking hell, man.
You always say that?
Yeah. Life sentence between them. Sad as fuck. There's nobody left. I've got a girlfriend with a kid on the way. Oh, I've got to stop it all soon. Got to think of them, Anna. I mean, I've calmed down a lot since I was, say, 15 or something like that. But, yeah, I suppose so, because I've got to think about them. I mean, we just split up for a bit, but just seen too much of each other, that's all. So, well.
Oh, mate.
Get it?
Yeah.
Let's have a look. How much you want for it?
A tour.
Oh, I
Well,
don't
yeah,
know.
no.
Sure, I thought it said 170.
No, that's what I paid for it, 175. I paid 175 for it. I've got to make something on it. It's got the films, got everything.
Fine, yeah. 180.
So I'm making a fiver. Nah.
Gonna have to be 2 then, innit?
It's worth a tour all day. I can go to Best Business now and get a tour, but you asked me one for your grand, so I thought, yeah, sorted.
Alright then. 2 off.
Yep.
And I count it, or do you trust me?
I'll count it.
Better be working.
Works perfect, there's something
I know,
going in mine.
mate.
2, 3, 4, 5, yep. Sorted.
All
What's
right.
his t-shirts?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yes, let's have a look at them.
Well, he gets his cut, I get my cut. What more do we want? As long as they're all happy at the end of the day. Got champion. Got the cap off.
That's nice, aren't they?
Yeah, well, what do you want?
How much
do
are
you
they?
want? 3.5.
Are they long sleeves or short?
This. No, they've got the short sleeves, like. They're good quality, take one out, have a look.
Is it that one?
I can get the jumpers as well.
Right.
Good sleeves, yeah, they're right then.
It's winter, isn't it? You don't want...
350.
Yeah, it's winter now, isn't it? So you want long sleeves, won't you?
Quick Christmas present, what's up with you? Quick stocking
Well,
for
give us 3 off you.
someone.
Give us a white and a black.
Got to know your streetwise, haven't you? You just got to know who's who and what's what. You know what I mean? It's the way you got to do it.
If you don't do it, what happens to you?
You're on your ass, you got no money or nothing. You're scrimping and scraping. You're looking for ways in and ways out. What more can you do? You've got to make a bit of money to put food in the kids' mouths, haven't you?
Have you got kids?
Oh, I got 3, me, yeah. Well, 3 of them, little terrors.
What's your day like? I mean...
Oh, what? Depends. Bit of buying and selling. Bit of wheeling and dealing as you do, make a bit of money. Not making much. Not much more you can do, is there, really? You know what I mean? You try and go out there, grafting in, they don't want none of it, so just do your other little bit and make your money, and we're all happy at the end of the day.
Oh, it's a tour. Oh.
How much you give me for it?
You get it going, I'll give you 120 for it.
Okay.
Of course, the taxi's fuck all. I'm going to go on the hill. I'm going to be on the hills on it, and I'm not going to be on the road.
Yeah.
1.5. $130.
Go on then.
Alright.
You have to on someone else, don't you?
Right, I haven't got 130 on me.
How much have you got?
You have to take 70 and I'll give you the rest after.
Go on then.
Only 46, 70. Right, come round in a bit, I'll give you the rest. See you later. Fucking shit, you probably had me over, it probably don't fucking work knowing him.
Can you make money on this one?
Oh, aye. Clean it up, I'll get 2.5 for it. Maybe 275 tops. Yeah. You always get someone in the f***ing loot who wants to buy them. You get someone crying for it. It's Kawasaki as well, it's not a bad night. I'm not so keen on bikes, but...
There's always a buyer for them then.
Oh, aye, yeah, you always get a buyer. There's always someone who wants something. That's the way to do it. You've got to make pennies. If you don't make pennies, you might as well fucking kill yourself. Aye. That's the one.
Tell you what, last time I ever get anything from your place.
The last time you'll be getting anything.
Is it?
Yeah.
Right. So how much do you want now?
50 quid.
50 quid?
Yep.
Right, well I'll tell you what, I'll keep the carpet, you're getting fuck all,
50
right?
quid.
No, I'll keep the carpet,
No,
you get
50
fuck.
quid.
When I sell the carpet, then you can have your
No,
money
I
back.
want my
All
money.
right, no, you're getting fuck all
want
on
my
your
money.
bike. Don't keep me door.
Just give me my money, I've got to go.
Don't keep me door.
You've had the carpet, all I want is my money.
I'm sorry, mate,
50
but you're
quid.
getting fuck all.
You've had the carpet.
No, you want to do it? Take it out of my fucking head.
I want the 50
Doors
quid.
locked. You're getting nothing. You've got no
50
money.
quid. I want the 50 quid.
You're not having it.
Well, give me the carpet back.
No, on your fucking
I want
bike.
the 50 quid.
On your bike. Yeah, no need for this. 50 quid.
Yeah.
There you go. Stick it in your bank. Have a
Hey,
nice day.
Don't be coming back to our shop
Have
either.
a nice day.
Don't be coming back to our shop.
Fucking won't. Bastard.
Not nicking cars no more, it's shit. Get too long for it. Last year I was in January and February. I was out March and April. I was in May, June, July. Got out July, I was in. Then got back put back in August. August, September, October, November, December, January. Got out in January. Not been inside since. I've had community service and that now.
Fucking lot for a car, though, isn't it? Fuck me.
It is. It is.
I mean,
It's only one sold for stealing cars. The rest of them have just been driving offences and stuff and assault and that.
like you're saying, yeah, you know what I mean? You fuck about with... I mean, you for fucking nicking stupid cars and there's all these fucking child molesters.
I
and all
know,
that.
you do. I mean, I've been padded up with all the murderers and fucking rapists and all that, but...
On tonight's show, drugs and guns and the downfall of dance culture. The gang member turned club owner who knows how to stay one step ahead. But first, the story of Gun Jester. Salford, Greater Manchester. Headquarters of one of the most notorious gangs in England. Murder and drugs, family ties and armed robberies. Carrier bags full of ease and a turf war that was to destroy one of the most vibrant club scenes in the world. And come and meet the criminal pride of the North, the boys from Salford.
In 1990, 21-year-old Cheetham Hill gunman Tony Johnson was spotted in a bulletproof jacket carrying semi-automatic firearms. It made the police significantly improve their own capabilities. Within a year, Johnson was dead, shot in the mouth by a rival.
Born out of urban deprivation, the lads from Salford are world famous. Not bad for a bunch of criminals that only number in the hundreds.
By the time I was like 24, I'd already seen like 4 people shot dead in my life, and it isn't funny. You know, when you stood next to somebody and the next minute you're wiping his brains off your face like that.
If Big Brother gets hold of a Subaru and has got money and has got style, or so-called style, little brother wants it.
These northern bad boys are organised into small firms with family allegiances. The Salford boys love quick and easy money almost as much as they love their shooters. No wonder that they have a long history in one particular crime.
The city regularly produces extremely violent gangs who are prepared to push the limits to get cash. Robbery is the main pastime.
A Salford-based gang hit the headlines in the late 90s for employing a novel way of raiding banks and security vans. They simply ripped a dirty great hole in them using battering rams attached to trucks. This secret police footage shows the gangs at work in a Salford lockup. The group were finally caught and sentenced. The Salford gang are not the only players in the city. Different parts of Manchester are run by different crews. When they're not fighting each other, the Salford lads turn their attention to their main rivals for the city centre, the Cheetham Hill gang.
The Cheetham Hill gang will be involved in various crimes of the normal type that you would expect with drugs, prostitution and what have you. They are close to the city centre and will vie with other gangs for ownership of various clubs in the city centre.
Further south, two other gangs from Moss Side have had their own battles with Salford.
You will find certain streets which will carry the names that are well known to the media, such as Donington Close and Gooch Close. They compete with each other, and they do compete with the other gang members in other areas of Manchester.
And the newest villains on the block, the Longsight crew.
The Longsight crew, as they are called, are pretty hardened, and there are quite a lot of violence incidents, perhaps even on a daily basis, compared with, say, Moss Side or Cheetham Hill.
Classic structure of the gang is that there's one so-called Mr. Big, who will probably have a lieutenant or maybe two, and then there's an immediate posse of foot soldiers who are there at his beck and call.
People called us gangsters, but if that's the case, then everyone's a gangster, because everyone's in a gang, from the government and the council to the police and the army. To be part of the firm, it's like being given a license to do whatever you want, basically, because you know that if you get caught for anything, friends and associates of the firm will deal with witnesses. The last thing you'd expect was for one of your own to grass, but it happens, and when it does, you're left with no choice but to deal with that person. You know what I mean? It's like you'd have to deal with them. You're part of the firm, aren't you?
Back in the day, you could speak to one person, he could say, right, you got to stop it. Now you can't.
But what of a future for these Mancunian villains?
Someone wants to go one better, and you are then in a kind of tit-for-tat war of who is the most cold, who is the least feeling, who is the most psychopathic, and who can deal out the worst elements of violence and will do it immediately, without question, without thinking. And you basically got a recipe there for a very trigger-happy gang culture.
After extorting all the businesses in their local area, the Salford boys moved into central Manchester. It was the beginning of a period of gang warfare that was to rip the heart out of Manchester's nightclub scene and earn the city the label Gunchester.
These are guys who turn up to nightclubs, right, with waterproof clothing on, bulletproof clothes, right, your balaclavas rolled up into a hat on their head, gloves on, a Mac 10 down the front. Who the hell goes out to a nightclub like that?
The carrying of weapons in clubs reached a point where, I mean, like the ceiling of the PSV club was leaking every time it rained because of gunshots.
Controlling the club doors was crucial if the Manchester gangs were going to survive. Controlling the doors meant controlling the dealers. If you controlled the dealers, the lucrative drug trade was yours.
They control the drug marketing that goes on within that club, and they tend to want to control it almost exclusively.
What I have seen is a load of frightened club owners and club managers sat down there, defenceless, thinking, well, what the hell do I do?
It was a trade that was worth fighting and dying for. And it was every club that was affected by either a Salford gang or one of their rivals. Even the Hacienda, the club that put Manchester on the map, was dragged into it. The gangs had free entry into the city's best nightclubs. The gangsters were rubbing shoulders with regular club-goers.
And then when they see their dog get hoofed in, right, and then we're in there saying, all right, well, you wanted to cause some grief last night, well, we're here to continue it or finish it. Which way do you want it? When they see that's how far you're prepared to go, right, it's all of a sudden, well, kind of, hang on a minute, now the man's bringing his shit to my doorstep.
The street gangs of Manchester came to public prominence during the rise of club culture in the 1980s. The Salford gang became known for violent robberies, use of guns and control of the drug market. Even today, they're one of the world's deadliest gangs.
Went to a funeral there that was totally full of gangsters and criminals. Come out of the church there, I turned round and I seen two people, one who I knew, running towards me. One had a knife by his side, the other had a gun by his side. Looked down towards the gate there and I seen that the funeral cortege was held up where two people during the service had put cars across the gate to hold the funeral up. So all in microseconds as I started running up towards the market, pursued by these two males. They gave up chase and then a police car pulled up, unmarked, bundled me in the back, told me to get my fucking head down and then took me into what they deemed protective custody, where they spent the next half hour quizzing me about the murder of Terry, what did I know about it, who chased me, this question, that question about well-known faces, people and that, you know, and I just said I wasn't interested, just like I'm still not interested, don't want to know, don't want to grasp, not interested in anything, just leave me alone, I'm not interested in anything. You know, and if you're watching out there, right, you know yous that did that day, you're proper sad because, you know, I thought more of Terry than any of you dickheads who will ever think of anybody in your life. You're just scum.
Basically, the views of the people we work with is the country's not big enough. If you're grassing, if you're on the payroll, watch out.
It's a bit of a religion down here, if anything, isn't it, Barry's? If you're an informer in Salford, you know, you've got serious problems if you found out. Because people will not tolerate on the streets. Not myself personal, but you know, I speak on behalf of other people on the streets as well.
In a city like Salford, the situation's a lot more intense, and if a man was found to be an informant, if he was to ask me my advice would be get out quick, because you're in a situation there where basically your life can be deemed to be in jeopardy. The people that we know, they would do whatever they think fit to remove the enemy. I'm not speaking from my own point of view, of course, you know what I mean, I'm like a pretty chilled out kid, but some of the people I know aren't quite as open-minded as me and, you know, tend to take the law into their own hands and think that if somebody's breaking one of our rules, then it's up to them, you know, what they want to do to remove them people.
I don't want people to look out at me and go, he's a bad guy, he's a this, he's that. I'll just look at me, I'm me. There's Paul, you know, with his kid walking down, you know, that's me. And basically, that is it, because I know a lot of people turn around and say gangster and fucking this and all that, but I've never gone out to be no gangster. I've never gone out there to be anything. I've just done what's ever come across in my face, and I've dealt with the situation, and it's come through that.
You hold this for me, mate. What is it? Microphone. Microphone.
What are you doing? Hey, don't be shy, your mum wasn't. Woo! Oh, Phil! That's what
Have people attempted to take you out?
On many occasions, yeah. On a few occasions I know people have tried to. I know people who will be watching this and are friends and plan to take me out and think I don't know. I'm just laughing at them. I'm laughing, I shake their hands still. Because I know they ain't got the arse right, because they know what fucking happened after. But I know I'm on them. And what they don't realise, I'm on yous. You know what I mean? I could have them all fucking sorted out now. But why? They're no threat to me, because they're not going to do no harm to me, because they ain't got the fucking balls.
And how have people tried to have you taken out?
There's been quite a few occasions, you know. Well, like a bit occasions I don't really want to discuss. I can discuss a few of them. Like when we had a machine gun fight at us, you know, in outside my friend's house one day. You know, I think it was a Mac 10 was fired at us. Missed anyway. But I know, you know, them guys who fired that fucking machine gun, right? I'll tell you now, they just thought he was going to walk up, pull the trigger, and them guys was all going to drop dead like in a film. Didn't even hit anyone. You understand? Because it's not how you think it is when you go out to do that. People don't just die that easy. I know people who've been shot in the head and still today alive. I know people who've been shot in the body and it's come out the other side. Large calibre bullets still sat around today. I know a kid gun put in his eye, trigger fired and beat with an ammo, still around today. I know a kid who got shot through the neck, the bullet went come out this side, went his friend's head and come out his mate's head here, and they're both still alive. You know, if you're not meant to go, I believe you're not meant to go. It's like myself, you know, I could be shot dead anytime. I've realised that for years, but it's meant to happen, and that's the end of it. I'm prepared to face that. I know the stakes. I picked the bastard who did it after. Forget about the crazy having people coming out of woodwork. I know you're going. So, you know, that's the only reason what's really, I think, kept me alive today, is because the person who fires that shot knows that they've got to fly the flag and angle the pressure after it. They're not going to be able to angle it. They're getting it. Because too many people around me, you know, are friends, they're not associates, they're friends, it's personal friendship. And there's a difference between personal friendship and having guys around you who are just your friends. I've got personal friends all over, and them personal friends wouldn't lie in bed at night if something happened to me. I know that fire's the first if anything happened to them.
My father was, the best way to describe him, he wasn't a villain as such, but he was a major figure in the Manchester underworld, wasn't he? Yeah. More of an advisor and, you know.
I think the Italians call it a consigliere, don't they?
Consigliere.
He was, yeah, a lot of the different lads from different factions used to come to him and seek advice, and you know, and he'd try and educate them against fighting each other. And yes, I'd say, yeah, a consigliere, an advisor to some degree. My dad's life was spent fighting authority of any kind. And you know, I used to find it frustrating because I used to think, why can't my dad be like everybody else's dad? Down the pub, getting pissed, getting stoned, you know, doing what everybody else's dad seemed to do. And as I've got older, I've come to realise that he didn't just hate authority for the fact it was authority. Yeah, he was fighting a bigger battle, and that bigger battle was against oppression, the New World Order, the banks. My dad wasn't just an advisor to the criminal fraternity. My dad was a political animal, and that's what his whole life was spent doing.
King Keaton was like using, it's like as his political aim was to bring down the council.
Well, yeah, that's what they said. They said that, you know, Paul was the Mr. Big, the youth of Salford were the foot soldiers, and Ken Keating was this Machiavellian guy who was like politicising the youth of Salford.
Because your dad believed that the chief of police at the time had declared war on the Salford youth, didn't he?
He did declare war on Salford youth. I was there, I was at that meeting, And Inspector Jim Tumner stood up and he pointed right out to everybody that was in that audience and he went, "I'm telling you now, you will not win. GMP is declaring war on you scum." That's what he said.
And that week there was several police cars burnt and quite a lot of rioting, wasn't there?
Well, he was indeed, yeah. But you know, when you've got, look...
And Salford police had to leave the streets to Salford youth for a time, didn't they? There was no go areas in Salford.
At the end of the day, look, for all the rights and wrongs of people that are named, people that aren't named, yeah, the bottom line is, statistically, Salford was a lot safer then than it is now, because certain quarters, yeah, educated by me dad and in agreement with me dad, said no crack, no smack, no hard drugs in Salford. Burglars, if somebody was found to be burgling or known to be burgled, they were spoken to. If somebody was selling hard drugs, they were spoken to.
Essentially, your father and others had assumed the role of the police, really. They were policing Salford.
There were certainly elderly residents that were targeted by burglars, and the photographs are in there of where these so-called gangsters got together, put on a benefit due, and gave this woman thousands of pounds, far more than she ever lost, back, yeah? Improved the quality of her life. Family, right near Christmas, a family's house burnt down, yeah? Now, these so-called criminal elements then went out and they spoke to local businesses, yeah? And don't misinterpret it, the word spoke to. There was no leaning on, no protection. They went out and they said, this family here has been burnt out. Now, to do you some good, publicly, if you know, it's right before Christmas, they've got no presents, give them
a donation.
Yeah, so, but not money. So what these different companies did, TV, video, games console, this, that and the other, and then it got to the point where there was too much stuff being donated, if such a thing can exist, and that wasn't squirreled away or gone, oh that's alright, we'll keep that. Everything that was over and above, so every child got a bike, every child got a games console, every child got a TV and a video and the stuff that was there, yeah? And then what they did was, anything that was over was all put back in big vans and taken back to the shops. So there'd be no skullduggery there.
So if you like what you see on MH live streams, feel free to subscribe by clicking the icon there, that's it, and press the bell for notifications. And that's all we have for you today on the MH live stream channel. Thanks very much for tuning in, and we look forward to your company on the next one. Good night.